It's morning!
And that means it's time for the Rotten Mournings
Podcast!
The best way to start your morning off rotten.
Podcast!
Hey guys, welcome back.
Shut the fuck up. Start with that shit again, you stupid asshole.
Fucking idiot!
Hey guys, it's another episode of Rotten Mornings. I'm Scott.
I'm Matt.
I'm Brandy.
I'm Brandy too.
Wait a damn
No, you're
minute.
not
We're not
Brandy
starting
today.
that,
That was last
shit.
night.
God damn it,
You're
I'm
not
Graham.
wearing the hat anymore.
I said it, I'm Graham.
Which one of you is Grim? I'm just hearing voices now.
That one over there.
Ow, I don't like that one. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. Let's not.
Yep. The end.
I'm
Get
down.
the
Good
fuck.
night, everyone.
Turn off the podcast.
Turn the podcast off.
Stay on.
Podcast!
Okay, it's time.
Oh my god, I've heard that screamed so many times this weekend, and
Oh
we
my
have
God,
not
yes.
filmed a podcast yet.
It was filmed-
Was it only Grim that did it?
Yes.
But there were
Good
It was
numerous.
Brandy.
There were. Everybody knows my voice doesn't get that high.
We're in arcs like, hey, we probably need to scream podcast so people know we're here.
I was screaming it just
That
to
happened
scream
in the line. It happened while we were going through the haunt. At Nightmare, she screamed it numerous times when we were out there in their
Yep.
outside
it.
area.
I did it once at
Um,
Comic-Con.
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
you did. It was loud.
Not good, but loud.
Well, at Nightmare, there were numerous people on the lives that kept asking her to scream it.
They kept
so-
saying podcast, and I'm like, not reading that comment, move on. Not reading that comment, move on.
And then she would read the comment, and it would happen.
I'm excited for Hellbilly Hollow this year, where that is her trademark screaming.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Yes.
scream podcast to
Yeah,
everybody.
like they're going to this room and like, I bet you don't know what's scary here. What's scary here?
Oh God, I've lost my eardrum.
Oh, social anxiety. Hey, released a lot of new reels this week.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, just a butthole ton.
We've got at probably 120 followers just from people finding our reels, and
Yeah.
primarily the Louis Vuitton reel. We've got so many views on
So-
it, so many shares on it.
Please, 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 everybody listening to this, go to those reels. Every time you see one pop up, react to it, comment on it, please.
It gives us
Take
good
shit on it.
traction, and
Yeah,
Facebook
it
is
gets
trying to
more
push the
views
Reels
out there.
feature right now. So if you guys go and interact with the Reels from Rotten Reviews, that will help us out immensely.
Dude, that's so good because so many times people will say, hey, I love what you guys are doing. How can I help? This is a way that anybody can help. And we would
Yes.
love it if you shared that reel and like commented like how bad it was.
Yes.
Yes, please.
And
Tell
remember,
us we suck.
remember,
We're okay with that.
when it comes to helping us, literally hitting share, putting a heart emoji on there, and clicking like at the easiest thing you could do, it helps us out
So much.
much.
Yeah.
We'd
So
love to see
much.
some bad reviews of the podcast. Go to your
Oh, yes.
go to the
please.
Amazon Place, or go to the Play Store, go to Spotify. There's all kinds of places where you can leave
iTunes.
reviews.
Yeah.
Go to
for
iTunes.
sure.
You know what? And even if you're not listening to it on a podcast app, if you're listening to it, found us on Facebook, leave a comment right below that. There's
Yep.
a really nice comment section. Let us know how we didn't do.
We
And,
definitely want to start going over the different comments that we get on the podcast post.
Want to read bad
reviews,
for
yes.
us.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious.
Please
Grim?
tell us shit, say shit. When you see us out in public, punch Matt in the dick. You know.
Yes.
Smile.
Yes.
Do it.
Graham, are there any comments on this podcast?
Podcast? Are we doing the fucking podcast
Yeah, are there
right
any
now?
comments?
Oh my God, there's about 2.
There's about
to.
about to make me angry.
About to make me punch you in the dick.
In public.
Actually, I think I did find 2 reviews.
Oh, okay.
For us at one point.
Wait, 2 reviews that weren't Scott?
I think the 2 I found were
Scotty
Scott.
boy.
Okay, we
At
talked
least
about that
one
last.
of
We
them was
talked
Scott.
about that last podcast.
So, well, in addition to the reels, if you guys were tuned into our TikTok or to the Facebook, Rotten Reviews Facebook, you got to see some lives from a just whirlwind of a weekend. And you guys want to talk a little bit about that?
God, what a weekend.
Oh,
Okay, good. Moving on.
First off,
It's been
like
a
right
long
out of the
weekend.
box, Dozer reached out to us the weekend before and was talking about that he was going to be in Florence and definitely wanted to meet up with us. And had a great conversation with that dude. Such a fucking awesome dude, awesome performer. His story and how he's moved through his life to become what he is now is great. And he is very on course with what we do. He wants to do that
Yes.
same kind of stuff. He is amazing. And then going out there, you know, like, of course, I guess we kind of need to start.
Probably a little too talented to do what we do.
He's a lot too talented to do what we do.
Waddle.
He has a real camera, so
Yeah.
that's right off the bat. We're already like out of the running in that.
I can't wait to see more of that.
Yeah. But I guess we need to go in chronological order. So on Friday, of course, we went to Nightmare at 3008.
Yes.
Had a fucking blast. So much fun.
So fun.
Ran into a couple of different people. Bo from Insanitarium was out there. We had a couple of hellbillies that showed up.
We had some Haunted Chicken House people that
Had,
came to see us too.
a couple
Bradley
and
Ashley.
Ashley came through, and we're going to be filming their wedding this year.
Yeah.
Then the first thing we did was the escape room, which was fucking great.
was
What
hilarious.
a kick-ass idea. Is basically they just let you free to search for this key, and the two fucking Raider boys are in there,
Yes.
like, beating the hell out of
Matt
us.
got his ass kicked, and it was funny.
I got my ass kicked a bunch.
Jacob ended up with a hole in his head.
Yes,
His head was bleeding.
Yes, it was awesome. And just like, it was such a great idea. I don't want to give a lot away about that because I want to see
It
them
was
do
so
more of that.
fun.
But it
It
was
was so
super fun. Then getting into the haunt and just being fucking covered in glue blood and shot with those damn pellet guns in the
Yes.
ass. Like, dude, everything about it. We held up the line because we went into a room where they were spanking us with knives.
And they wouldn't let
and
us leave because they wanted to keep
We didn't want to
spanking us.
leave, and they didn't know how to tell us to leave. We were just like, hey, can we get another one over here?
And you spanked him back.
And then I spanked the girl with the knife, and they were spanking Bo, and it was
me.
so
me.
much fun. So as always, they
Is
always
that the haunt that most people will see, or is there something special you got to do to
well,
get
we
that?
have, of course, we asked for the rotten treatment. This time we didn't because I think we don't have to say it anymore. I think we're just.
think it's
we're literally
mandatory
just
because we are
fucked.
rotten.
Like there's nothing we can do that if we show up, dude. You should see the way that people act too. People are like, "Oh, I can't go to the bathroom right now. Rotten's about to go through,"
Yes.
or, "Oh, you'll see him like, oh, Rotten's about to come through." Right, and people just start running into the fucking haunt, like, get in here, get in here, get in here, get in
I love
here.
it.
But dude, and right off the bat, Adam is assaulting me with a
course.
fucking rose,
Yes.
and dude, it's just
I got choked 3 times that night.
yes, you did.
It was great.
I love that you put the picture of the guy choking you, and Left Hand Black commented on it. Hey, stay away from our girl.
It makes me so happy.
And then after that, we went. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, Urza,
that's
that's great.
Yeah, Urza
Thank
is
you,
unhappy
Urza,
that
for
we
your
left her
contribution.
alone so much.
Yes,
this
she was
weekend.
alone a lot this weekend. After that, we
I
went.
know them feels.
After that, we went to Comic-Con in downtown Birmingham.
That was
Had a
Saturday.
pretty good time. It was a great con. We're not super con people.
You lost your badge.
Yeah. Oh my God, I lost my badge. What a great story that
Now, we
was.
saw a lot of
Have
people
you,
we know
Did you
there,
hear that
too.
story?
Tell
I
the
heard
story.
that there had to be some subterfuge.
Oh my God! So I lose my badge, and they're like, I'm like, don't worry about it. We're gonna go smoke. They probably won't even make a big deal about it. I had it under my coat anyways. We'll probably be fine. We go
Nope.
smoke, come back. The girl's like, hey, you don't
can't
have a
go
badge.
in.
You can't go in. I was like, fuck. She's like, go to the
Information
customer
desk.
service information. So I go there. They're like, we don't have it. They're like, go and ask at the vendor's information desk. I'm like, well, we can't get in there to ask. They're like, well, somebody with a badge can. So Brandy goes down there and looks, and she texts me, oh, it's not here. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, Grim, let me see your badge. I have an idea. So I take her badge and I fold it in half and I put it back in the plastic. And I'm like, go in, see if you can get in, and then come back out again. If you can get in with half a badge, I've got an idea. So she goes in with half a badge, comes back out. She's like, it was all good. I was like, great. So I tear off the top part of the badge that she had. So Brandy comes back, and I tear off the middle part of her badge and put it sort of back together in her thing. And I took the badge, and I stuck it in my cigarette cellophane, and I hung my pack of cigarettes from a lanyard around my neck. And I'm like, all right, man, moment of truth. We just got to see if this works. Now, we had a group of Insanitarium, and one of the workers from Nightmare was with us. So we kind of went in a group, but she remembered me.
Because
and he's
a bit... noticeable.
Even at a fucking con, it doesn't make any sense to me.
And she was eyeing
me. She looks at the badge hanging from this pack of cigarettes around my neck. And I'm like, okay, she's looking at it. Fuck it, I gotta dive in on this. I was like, I found it. And she was like, good. And I was like, yes. Yes.
So just for clarity, though, you did purchase
I
a ticket.
did 100% purchase a ticket.
Like, we're not saying anything.
Do not break that system. She knew that we were already having a problem. We had already talked to everybody else.
We did our due diligence in trying to retrieve his badge, but it had not been turned in anywhere.
And legitimately, we went back in for maybe another 30 minutes to an hour tops and left after that. So I would never encourage anybody to try to cheat their way into that. Pay for your badge. It's just, it was a crazy situation.
Support cool events and cool
support the events. Please do. And Comic-Con was a great fucking event. It was a great time.
Now, you mentioned the people we saw from Insanitarium and Nightmare. There were also several people we saw from Hellbilly Hollow. We know that there were several people from Hellbilly Hollow and other places that we did not get a chance to see because we did not stay long enough.
And oh my God, there were so many people.
Yes, there were so many people.
Like
so many cool costumes.
Walking through the vendors, there is no kind of 6-foot rule. But
everybody wore
it is hard not to
everybody had to wear a mask. Yes. Everybody had to have a negative COVID test or a vaccine card. So we had our vaccine cards, so we were good.
And they were offering free COVID tests.
They were giving tests at the door. If you didn't have a vaccine card, they could give you a test and you could get in. So that was awesome. After that, Brandy found a cool coffee bodega downtown Birmingham.
Bizarre, a coffee bar. It was so cool. We loved it.
Oh my God, that coffee was so good.
And we did a live there, and the dude that worked there was super nice, and he gave a great plug for his business. They had art there.
Beautiful
like
art.
everything about it was so
From
fucking
Executive
cool.
Art was the name.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So if you guys get a chance, go to Bizarre the Coffee Bar. They're open late as hell. They said you can come get a coffee at midnight.
They're open from 4 o'clock during the week. They're open from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till whenever is specifically what he said. So.
And I don't know if this is going to happen, but I told the guy, because we went in and they were missing like a certain thing we wanted. They were missing a couple of
ingredients for something that I had ordered. So,
he
was
told him
to surprise me.
Yeah, he was like, well, I kind of see what y'all want. Let me try to make something.
And I was down for
it. And we were like, okay, cool, yeah. So he made us all a different kind of coffee. All were amazing. So I went and I told the guy, hey, you need a product on your menu that's about $1 cheaper than everything else that says, trust me, and you just make that coffee because you know what the fuck you're doing. He's like a barista mixologist.
Yes.
And
that's what he enjoyed doing.
Great.
That's why he was doing it. And it was fantastic. And I specifically told him, I was like, hey, you did not have what I ordered, but you gave me exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
It was fantastic.
After that, there was a food truck out front. We got a card from them. The lady that made us those lemonades. It was awesome.
Jamaican cuisine. It was the
jerk chicken.
Woad experience.
Yeah, the Woad experience.
They had, jerk chicken and shrimp and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, jerk chicken tacos and Cajun shrimp tacos.
We really enjoyed the different
ginseng,
ginger
lemonades were really good. Really
we got
good.
A peach lemonade or peach ginger. You got the passion fruit. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Ginger is one of my favorite things to be in lemonade. Ginger and like hibiscus.
So and it was mixed so well together. Like all the flavors really complemented each other.
It literally, to me, tasted like an old fashioned and a lemonade. Like not an old fashioned lemonade, but an old
But with,
fashioned
like,
the
the
drink.
candy
A lemonade
ginger
and an
in it,
old-fashioned.
yeah.
Yes, yes. I was gonna
it
say
was
an
really
old fashioned lemonade, but that doesn't really convey what I was
it's
tasting.
like an old-timey lemonade.
But
What
it
they put in
was-
it? Lemon and water.
It was just like an old fashioned one.
Depression drink.
But and it again, great fun.
So
Then we-
Bizarre, a coffee bar. Definitely check them out.
Yes, please check them out. Then after that, we went to Arts Mortis and Killen, and we were not
Oh,
in the
wow.
parking lot for more than 5 minutes before we
Cherry
felt
Snot.
famous. Because Cherry Snot pulls up and she's like, "Oh
She
my God, you
stops right
guys! Oh,
behind our
fucking
car
wow,
and
you're
gets
so
and jumps
awesome!"
out of the car. It was great.
And just seeing them, and then we're live. And we've got Dozer commenting on our live where, like, "Hey, where are you guys at? I fucking see you. I fucking see you." We get out of the car and he's wandering up
Through
and
the
down the
parking
parking lot. And I'm like,
knocking on
"Hey,
different
I'm
people's
looking at you,
cars."
Dozer. I'm looking at you." And he's knocking on cars like, "Hey, are y'all
Is that
rotten?"
you?
No,
Nope, that's
okay.
not you.
Are you
Is
guys
that you?
rotten?
Where you at?
Please stop asking us that. That really,
smell
watching that and having him go, "Hey, where are you guys at?" And then you guys watched it. It's
Watching
great.
him.
Yeah, watching me,
Watching you.
Very voyeuristic. It reminds me of these TikToks that you guys would do.
The hide and seek
Hide
ones.
and seek
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun. It's too
yeah.
cold to do that now.
Too cold to do hide and
Yeah.
seek at the
Yeah.
moment.
Right now, it's just I'm on the couch.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
"Oh, you found me,
Yeah.
fuck. All right, your
You
turn.
found me.
1, 2, 3. Oh, found you too.
We're all in the
Okay,
same room.
yay, we win. After Dozer, we go
Oh, my
through
God.
and talk to different owners. I was getting to show them some of the pictures from back in the day when it used to be called Terror in the Isles, and it was Uncle Charlie's Flea Market. And then we go through the haunt. The haunt was fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh wow, we had
Love
and
the
okay,
setup. So beautiful, too,
we
out
were
there.
there during the regular season. We were there during Christmas, and they had already changed some stuff up. That was just 2 months ago. Not even 2 months ago that we were there, because I believe we went at the end of. I guess okay, so it was still Christmas.
Yeah.
but not even 2 months ago, and they've already changed it up so much.
So much.
And
Dude,
like
I
there were parts
love
that
the
it just
clown
seemed like
area
it would
that
never
they made.
end, but
it
in
looked
a great
huge.
way.
It was beautiful. I always
So many
loved the swamp
long
back there
hallways
Oh, yes.
with great
That's one of my favorite
silhouettes
parts.
and great lighting. I love the way the different areas you go into, you've got different smells that give you a different feeling.
Me getting spooked by actors and animatronics
oh, I know
alike.
it happens so many times.
To standing in the midway and the guy clinking the goddamn metal canisters
Right behind
together
you,
and
yes.
scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
So funny to
great.
watch you jump out of your fucking seat.
That
Or
fucking
hear his,
snake dude scared the shit
Yeah.
out
Or
of me.
like one of the haunt actors coming around the corner and being like, "Who's that with that Seth Rogen laugh?"
Yes.
I think, and tell me what you guys think about this. Do you think things are scarier when you're cold because your body's like
Already on
like
high
Already
response?
tense, yes.
Yeah, like you're tense and like you're already fighting a thing, which is the cold. So you're just like trying to live, and then I think it's easier to get a scare in the cold.
I kind of
I-
agree with
yeah.
that to a
Yeah,
point.
you might
I
be
think
right.
I think they were still firing on all cylinders.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
whether or not I was cold
Well,
or not, I would have
honestly-
still been
oh
just
no,
as
not
Well,
to take
also-
anything away from that.
Also, I have to say this. I was freezing the entire time we were waiting in line. I don't remember thinking about being cold at all.
I'm
when
gonna
we were
tell you
going to the
this.
haunt.
Same.
I
Cold
completely
haunts,
forgot I was
the
cold.
one thing I've always wanted to see in a cold haunt is I would love somebody to kind of do something from The Thing, because going
yes.
down those just empty long hallways and arcs
They've got those
made
great
me
hallways.
think of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
Oh,
In the
Yeah.
snow, when you're there, it's just like these endless hallways. That was so
Oh,
that for me,
yeah.
because we're sitting there like, oh fuck, we're freezing, and we don't know who's around the next corner. I felt like I was in The Thing, even
Oh,
though it wasn't like
yes.
designed to look like The Outpost. Dude, it was phenomenal, and I promise you, it wasn't too long that we were in that haunt that we got over being cold really fucking
Yeah.
fast.
Did you?
No, I
Did
forgot.
it
I was
snow?
cold.
Yes,
Yes, it was
a little
snowing
bit.
while we were
Flurries.
waiting in line. It was
Just-
snowing.
Just some flurries.
It was
Uh,
by the time we came out though, it was not snowing anymore.
But after we get through the haunt, I'm talking to one of the dudes in charge, and Vinny comes
Alex, I
out,
believe.
and I talked to Vinny about
Yeah.
like our memories from back in the day. of how it used to be. Vinny was telling me how they came into owning ARCs and how they got it.
ARCs.
They were telling us about John, who used to be the groundkeepers out there back when I was a damn kid.
But he
it's
became
just
so much a part of the Haunt family.
He's who the skeleton on the front of the pictures from Terror in the Isles was based off of. It was based off of John. But then we go to the Midway and we're like, all right, we're just going to go stand in the Midway and kind of see. And again, like, we're not, yes, we are rotten. Yes, we know people watch our stuff. Do we think we are fucking famous and amazing?
No.
Not in the least.
That's because we think we suck.
We think we suck. So
sure
we're
we do.
standing there like, we'll stand here. Maybe we'll say hi to a couple of people. But I think maybe Twitch.
I think Rainbow Twitch
started it and was like, oh my God, it's you guys. You got to see this person. Then Lita
Have you
comes
seen
over.
so-and-so? Stay right here.
And let me
Bites.
go through the list. Mr. Giggles, Rainbow Twitch, Slain Helheim, Slugger Helheim, Wicked Helheim, Mannix, Lita Bites, the Voodoo Queen,
Yes.
Scab, Vice Versa, Dozer, the Grave Digger, and Mistress Laura, Elisa Rose, Schizo, Clover,
Vice
Isaac,
Versa.
Tigger, Terror. There were even more than just those people, because even just the ARCs actors who are fucking badass,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh my God.
Dude,
so good.
they made us feel like
So
$1 billion.
incredibly welcome, yes.
And we're sitting there
They made you feel money?
Yes, we felt like money.
Yep.
No. Hey, feel this money real quick. You'll never have it.
We're sitting there feeling like we are surrounded by some of
Royalty.
our inspiration,
Haunt
some
royalty,
of the
for
royalty
real.
of the haunt world. And they're like, oh no, you guys, we finally get to meet you guys, and we're just fucking blown away.
Oh, it was so awesome.
At a loss for words, and I was just feeling floaty the whole fucking night.
Yes.
Like, so fucking happy and just screaming.
So ARCs has got one more night. They're doing another Monday show. A lot of those people won't be out there, but it's still fucking ARCs. It's still a great show.
Yes, they always.
If you get a chance,
they always give
go
you a
out
great
there and
show.
check that shit out, dude.
I have never been to ARCs and not had a good time.
Exactly.
It's one
That's
of the,
what makes it worth the drive for us, really, is we know we're going to have a blast no matter what.
You know, we talk a lot about haunts being, hey, this is a DIY haunt, this is a backyard haunt, this is a community haunt. You know, then we've got your museum haunts, your constructor haunts, set haunts. But ARCs is probably the quintessential Alabama one that encompasses museum, because it has big set rooms.
Yep.
It has big animatronics.
Honestly,
Yep.
I would call it a haunter's haunt.
And not to mention the fact that that
Agreed.
building alone has a history of being a haunt for
Over
30, 40 years.
Yes, exactly.
And again, I can never, ever, ever stop saying about that's where I got my passion for haunting in the first place.
Yes.
Was at Uncle Charlie's with Justin Mayberry from Trick or Treat
And you
Studios.
have
That is fucking
continued to
beautiful.
spread that amongst everyone you know.
So, ARCs, again, if anybody is listening from ARCs, thank you
We
guys
love
for the
you.
experience. Thank you to all the Scary Face reps that were out there for the great
Yes.
experience. Getting
Tyler
to meet
and all of those.
Tyler,
Yes, exactly.
and we even got
They
some
had-
pictures with
they had
Crazy
many
Boy.
people.
There was and Giggles, dude, was so nice to us.
Yes.
Everybody out there was so nice. I really enjoyed meeting Twitch and Lita, and I
Yes.
wish we could have saw
And the
Cherry
Voodoo Queen.
again.
The
I
Voodoo,
know.
Voodoo Queen gave us a fucking skull gift.
While we were
Oh
in
my
line, the
God,
Voodoo
I
Queen
love
and her
it.
daughter
Thank
gave
you.
us the skull. Yes. Well, they gave it to Grill, but yes.
Matt kept it safe throughout the whole
I did.
haunt.
I had to hold that fucking skull
Like a
walking
baby.
through the whole haunt.
There were-
Everybody was
there
like,
were different
"What's
haunt
that?" And I'm like,
actors
"It's a
that tried
skull.
to-
I'm keeping it safe." But
Horatio?
There
Get
were
that.
different actors in the haunt that tried to take it from him. It was like, no.
no, I gotta
They
keep
gave
this
it
safe.
to
It's a
him. We have
gift.
to
It's a
keep it
gift.
safe.
Alas, poor Earl.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to hold on to it like that.
Now, what we haven't mentioned was the gift shop with all the rocks and crystals and
Oh.
all
Yeah. Keeper's Corner.
the masks and all these great different things that they have
We
in
got a
there.
few
Knives. Yes, we did.
Yes.
I mean, it's such a neat experience. And you can go to Keeper's Corner all year round, I
Yep,
believe.
yep.
They're always there.
Support your haunts.
Yeah, and I hate that we didn't get to see Bo, because I know Bo and
tried
Justin
so
were out
hard.
there from Insanitarium,
We
but
kept
God,
missing
it was
each
just
other.
it was such a fucking crazy, like, everybody night, dude. It was just this person, that person, this person, that person. So I hate we missed you guys from Insanitarium.
Now we did
So
have some
fucking
folks
hate
from
it.
the Haunted Chicken House. With
I'm
us.
excited for Insanitarium this year.
Me
Oh
too.
yes, definitely.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, what a great weekend. And, you know, and we even got to see fucking Scott Autry this weekend.
I know.
Yay!
Pretty awesome.
Shut your...
What a surprise!
Boy, not
What
wearing
a
that
surprise.
suck-ass sweater.
You always know how to sneak up on us.
Anyway, yeah, so Scarface was out there, and you guys get to see a lot of cool people. Great, cool. It is...
Scott, you're cool too.
Shut your butthole.
Not your sweater, though.
Shut your butthole,
You
bitch.
shut your butthole.
Shut your butthole.
In the
You are a
butthole.
So, really good weekend, right?
Ridiculously
Yes.
good
Oh,
weekend.
Now,
So busy.
we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up this section. It was Valentine's weekend. It's still Valentine's weekend if you're listening today. But
If we get this released today,
we will probably. Today's Tuesday, so it'll probably come out today. But we're gonna in our next section we're gonna talk a little bit about Valentine's.
Yes, we did a little bit last week. We really didn't get deep into it, so we're going to do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, we had a
we had
drop-in guest surprise. That
Yes,
night.
we had a bit of an emergency during that podcast, so
We
we
had
had to
a
cut it
couple
short.
of-
Yeah.
I took a shit on the couch. And in the kitchen.
she means right now.
And in Matt's shoe.
She just took a shit on the couch,
And on
so
your
we're going to
stupid-ass
take a
sweater.
break and clean up Grimpoo.
Before we go to break, though, is there any rotten news for this week that people should be looking out for? Probably have more reels thrown up on Facebook.
Oh,
More
yeah.
reels
Like,
coming
share
out.
those
I'm going to be
comment.
sharing out all the pictures that we got with the amazing
Yes.
actors throughout the day and tagging them in it to show how much that meant to us and how much
we love you.
we cannot applaud your job or what you did enough. You guys are the fucking reason we do what we do.
Guys,
Absolutely.
if you're listening to this podcast on iTunes or Spotify, please go to the Rotten Reviews Facebook page. We'll have links in the comments to some of the people that we've talked about. We'll try to do that throughout the week and tag some of those people. Probably not going to be in the main podcast description, but it will be on the Facebook.
Yes,
We'll throw some
please go to the
comments and-
Facebook and check out the awesome pictures.
and leave us some
got
reviews
last
and
night.
tell us how bad we are at this.
Please.
Be sure to go and follow these people that we've mentioned.
Yes.
And the ones we didn't mention.
Yes.
You'll find
definitely.
them tagged somewhere.
All right.
So
and
we'll
Matt's
talk to you
dancing
again in a
means-
minute.
Matt, stop dancing.
It's dancing
Son
time.
of a bitch.
So we'll be right back after.
Commercial.
Podcast!
Would you like a commercial on the Rotten Mournings podcast? Well, just let us know right now, out loud, and we can customize a commercial for you.
You might like it, but you will probably hate it. It's a gamble you should take.
Rotten Mornings.
And we're back.
Oh shit.
No, we're back, Grim.
But I
Get
shit again.
back!
You shit again?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you were supposed to do that during the break.
It stinks.
The break stinks? Why are you whispering? It's a podcast. In continuing in our series this season, which
Series of shits!
Shits!
in our series of shits this season, we're talking about holidays. Today we'll be talking about Valentines Day. I think it's pronounced Valentines.
Well, today actually is something different. It's not that. Today is Galentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
That's
the day
a
before
gallon.
Valentine.
Oh.
It's for the gals. It's where the ladies get together and celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Yep.
They-
And support each other.
Is that a real thing?
It is.
It is.
And what
You
do they
can Google that shit.
what do they do on Valentine's Day?
Support each other.
Support
They
each other
pump
and
each
bitch
other
about
up.
men.
And you can drink wine.
You can drink
What?
wine.
No men allowed.
No men can drink wine on Valentine's
Nope.
Day.
Men
Just the gals.
go die.
Men go die.
Men go die. Get
Bye.
out of here, men.
Did you ever see that anime, Men Go Die?
I love mangoes.
I think I
Mango
said
die.
mangoes. I love mangoes. What? So yeah, I guess apparently Galentine's is February 13th. Is that what we're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's
what
I
Google
said.
says.
Okay. And tomorrow is Valentine's, right?
Correct.
Valentine's
Is tomorrow Valentine's? No, Tuesday.
I thought
is
Valentine's was
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Valentine's Day was created
What
by
is today?
Leslie Knope.
Nope.
Yep.
Yep, it was.
Yep, it was.
But today is the 13th, so Valentine's Day is tomorrow on Monday.
Well,
I thought Valentine's Day was Tuesday.
That's what I thought too, but apparently
Ah.
Tuesday is the 15th.
That was information based on literally what Brandy told me.
no, that's fine.
Well, in case
that up.
anybody was wondering, Matt and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We don't care. The only thing we like about Valentine's Day is the places that do awesome Valentine's haunts.
I like Valentine's candy. Valentine's candy can be a
Yeah.
good
Agreed.
thing.
I'm not a big chocolate fan, but I do like
Same.
the
Fair, but
I
there's,
like the
But you
sweet
do eat
tart
the-
hearts
yeah.
and stuff like that.
I like holiday themed candy. The one thing I don't like, I'm not a big fan of Conversation Hearts, which is an iconic
Yeah.
Oh, I
Valentine's
love
candy.
Conversation Hearts.
Do you like Nico wafers?
Yeah, I mean,
It's very
I'm not
similar, right?
I'm
It
not
is.
heavy on them, but the Conversation Hearts, there are like 6 different companies that put out different versions of those, and there are certain ones that are just the right kind of chalky consistency and weird taste that are. I just love the hell out of those damn
Yeah.
things. I cannot get enough of those damn things.
Yeah, but you also eat sugar cubes.
I do.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
Like Smarties
just
in a way
sugar
are
upon
very
sugar
similar to those kind
upon
of things as
sugar.
well.
Smarties have
I
a
like
harder
Smarties.
consistency or density, I guess. But yeah, that is probably I would say probably besides chocolate, which I guess would probably take number 1 spot.
Yeah, but
like
those
chocolate.
Conversation Hearts are definitely second in role of.
and somehow, I guess through namesake, sweet tarts.
Yeah.
And then they had the sweet hearts, which
Yep.
is the kind of the thing. I know we normally talk about like the history, but we got into candy and
Well, we like candy.
Speaking of candy, I hate peanut butter.
Okay. Great non sequitur.
Since when do you hate peanut butter?
Always.
Your name is peanut butter.
Oh, you're not supposed to
I
say
see.
that on. No, disavow that.
No,
Ignore
no,
that.
no,
It's not
no.
his real name.
Yeah,
Don't
please
look
don't.
that up.
Oh my
No, we
God.
can't give
No.
away his real name.
God damn.
Yes, Jesus.
Whoops.
for the-
Sorry, not peanut butter.
I know someone who had a band called Peanut Butter Jones, or it's a RV called Peanut Butter Jones. That was the name of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Valentine's Day is kind of neat because everybody kind of does even in school people give like cards,
Yeah.
and some of the cards have been really clever,
Mhm.
very punny. It's you get probably more puns during Valentine's than any
Yeah.
other, and for that fact alone, I can respect some Valentine's because it brings puns and it brings
Right,
those
yeah.
candies. But
Did y'all ever have any different traditions y'all did as kids for Valentine's Day?
we did. We would always at the day before Valentine's, we would all get together, like all of us kids. We would get together and we would do Valentine's for the class, and we would have like a piece of candy, and then we would sacrifice a goat. And it was
Oh my God.
I have to say, anytime we're discussing holidays on here, my new favorite thing has been figuring out what Grimm's strange
I do not
childhood
wanna comment at
tradition
this time now.
was. Please,
No.
please, Grimm, tell us.
I told you
What
last
did-
time. We
What did
cooked
y'all do for Valentine's Day?
Solar weenies.
That's what you did for Groundhog's Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was groundhogs. What do we do? I don't think.
What did
You-
you do for Valentine's Day?
It's hard to remember. I have to seriously think about these things.
for Valentine's, they actually did a
do we
solar
do?
cooked groundhog.
There you go.
That's a completely different thing. So
Well, okay, so I remember as a kid doing, of course, the cards for the class, and you had to have one for everybody in the class, and then they would usually have you do like a handmade one for the teacher and that kind of thing, or you would have a class project activity to do a handmade one to take home to your parents or something to that effect. I remember doing that. I just realized the other day, though, I don't remember why we did this, but in my high school, we would have carnations, and you would buy carnations of different colors to give to, like, your friends and things, which is weird to me now, considering that I consider carnations funeral flowers. Why were we buying funeral flowers for each other for Valentine's Day?
One, I think carnations were in season.
Yeah, that's probably
and
it.
two, it was probably a fundraiser for drugs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Did you say a fundraiser for drugs?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
Gotta find for those school drugs.
It's so
Yeah, because, you know, the
funny.
private Catholic schools, you gotta find it somewhere. So.
I'm just realizing, like, besides Halloween, Valentine's is, we talked about this, besides Christmas, Valentine's is probably the biggest haunt, out of season haunt. Valentine's is also the other iconic candy holiday besides
like
Halloween.
yeah.
And also Valentine's has the most, like, puns.
Yes.
Right? So,
true.
like, I kind of went into this going, it's Valentine's. We were going to talk about some history. We don't really care. We don't really celebrate Valentine's. But, like, looking at those things,
it kind of has a similar relation to Halloween.
I remember what we did, in school.
My God.
No. There was someone that would dress up as a baby and would hide arrows in people's lockers.
What?
Interesting.
They would hide.
So you
no
had
one got hurt.
They wouldn't
No
dress,
one got hurt.
They wouldn't dress as Cupid. They would dress as a baby.
They would dress as a baby, and I think maybe that represented Cupid. I don't know, but they would dress as a baby and then hide arrows in random lockers.
For what reason?
I don't know.
That
you ever
sounds
get an arrow?
dangerous.
I never got an arrow. Never got an arrow.
Because they knew that was dangerous.
I would like to, on this Valentine's Day, put an arrow in your locker. Ma'am. So, yeah, that's neat. I think there are some kind of stuff like that. Coach Grimm comes from a different country where they celebrate things differently, but
She comes from this country.
no.
Different planet entirely.
Well, yeah, there is that. Different planet, same country.
Maybe I was just in a different dimension this entire time.
It's fine,
I don't know.
dude.
That
No.
does not surprise me.
I think a lot of
I think
people-
you still
It makes
are.
me wonder.
I think a lot of people are really familiar with the ancient story of Valentine's baby.
Valentine's
Throwing
baby.
arrows at kids.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone got.
I'm gonna
hit with
put
any
my
arrows. I think they were
arrow
just
in
hidden
your
in
Valentine's
locker.
baby, give me an arrow.
How did you not get an arrow? Did you feel bad that you were arrowless?
I don't know why. I don't know. I didn't really make friends with the Valentine baby, I guess.
No, that's fair. That's, accurate. You'd probably still have the Valentine's baby in your life if you did. I didn't make friends with the Valentine's baby.
So do we want to get into the history of it now?
I would love to, and if we've got some of that already pulled up, that'd be great. One of my favorite things about the history of Valentine's, we talked about cards, but like when Valentine's cards were first starting, people had no idea that they would turn into this thing, and so like the original Valentine's cards, if you look at vintage Valentine's cards, they're like weird cryptids saying weird shit, and it is the most bizarre Lovecraftian fucking Eldritch God kind of thing that you'll ever see.
Oh, okay. We had this
Oh,
at
gosh.
the school I went to. Okay, so there was this ancient wooden paddle that
Here we
everybody
go.
had this entire time. And I remember passing it around. We went to the principal's office, found the paddle, and we signed the fuck out of it. And everybody that signed it got in trouble.
Another great story.
That just sounds
So-
like the
so
story
let
of
me
It was
get
the
this
paddle
straight.
that everybody used to use to paddle everybody.
So let me get this straight.
You couldn't paddle anybody.
You
before
associate Valentine's Day with getting spanked.
that. No. What?
That now explains
Why are you blushing?
you so enjoy getting choked.
What? You are literally beaming right now.
Shut up!
Look at them little cheekies blushing.
I don't
I've
know.
never seen that
I didn't really
before.
know that Grimm could blush.
Look at those blushing cheekies.
Shut the fuck up, Scott.
Okay, yeah, let's jump into the history of Valentine's. Matt, are you got some of that pulled up?
I don't.
Okay, so Valentine's Day is traditionally thought to be associated with a saint for Saint Valentine. But it's a little confusing as to why that would be so. The Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, all of whom were martyred. But there's different legends associated with it, and I still don't know where the concept of being all lovey-dovey came from. So one legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome. When Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families, he outlawed marriage for young men. Valentine, realizing the injustice of the decree, defied Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. But there's a lot of other people that say that it was St. Valentine of Terni, a bishop, who was the true namesake of the holiday, and he was beheaded by Claudius II outside Rome as well, but not for the same reason. And then there's other stories that say Valentine was killed for attempting to help Christians escape harsh Roman prisons, where they were often beaten and tortured. According to one legend, an imprisoned Valentine actually sent the first Valentine greeting himself after he fell in love with a young girl, possibly his jailer's daughter, who visited him during his confinement. Before his death, it is alleged that he wrote her a letter signed "From your Valentine," an expression that is still in use today. But it's still a little murky as to where all of this came from.
Yeah, because it's BS. Because Valentine's Day is complete and total
Well,
BS.
I mean, really, it was adopted from a pagan festival. It was another
origins
version.
to a bloody pagan festival. Some trace Valentine's Day origins to a Christian effort to replace a pagan fertility festival that has been dated as far back as the 6th century BC during the festival of
Lupercalis.
Thank you. I knew you had said that word last time. Roman priests would sacrifice goats and dogs and use their blood-soaked hides to slap women in the streets as fertile blessing. According to legend, women would later put their names in an urn and be selected to be paired with a man for a year. Wow.
Right.
That's really the ugly man's holiday.
Not seeing a problem here.
And
When do we get
supposedly-
to start beating each other, or get beatings?
Let's go and get one of your family's goats and slap you guys with them.
Wow.
Why don't you shut up?
Supposedly,
I'm sorry, Grim. You don't get beatings this year. The Valentine's babies.
I
in
hate this
arrow.
place, and I want to leave
well,
now.
wait, no. You know why you don't get beatings?
Why?
Because you decided you wanted to celebrate Galentine's Day, which means we get to beat them.
You know what? I don't want Galentine's Day. I want to get beat. I want beatings day. Somebody choke
So,
me, please.
supposedly, Roman women welcomed the touch of the hides because it was believed to make them more fertile in the coming year.
The coming year.
You were 12.
12 years
We
old.
saw a preview for a movie called Men, and it was like, Men, coming soon.
Dude, I posted on my Facebook. I was like, well, I hope everybody's having a banging weekend. And everybody's like, hey, thanks. And I was like,
But no, you don't get it.
this is true.
No, go get banged, bitch.
That's right. Have a banging weekend so you can really have fun with the VD on VD.
Yeah.
Somebody
So,
choke me.
There's an ointment for that.
so Lupercalia actually survived the initial rise of Christianity, but it was then outlawed as it was deemed unchristian at the end of the 5th century. But it was not until the Middle Ages that we actually started celebrating something like the current Valentine's Day as being associated with like birds mating season. And I believe you had brought this up in the last podcast about how it's believed that Chaucer was actually the first one
to actually make up.
to record a St. Valentine's Day as a romantic celebration.
Yes, he
yeah.
made it up on the
And
spot.
that wasn't until 1375 when that happened.
And this is interesting.
I cannot hear Chaucer's
And not
name
think of Knight's Tale.
and not think of Naked Vision.
Yeah, Naked Vision.
Naked Vision.
You see Knight's Tale, you get to see Naked Vision,
You
and
get to
he is
see
Chaucer.
Vision's tale.
Now, this is interesting because I always think, when I think Cadbury, I think Easter. But apparently Cadbury was the first company to start releasing chocolates on Valentine's Day as a way to try out different variants of chocolates before they released them as a full product.
Kind
They
of
would
the
make the chocolate
Whitman
box.
sampler.
Yep.
When I hear Cadbury, I think of that commercial
Bark,
where it's
bark,
like,
bark,
but
bark,
meow, but meow, but meow.
The cat
What?
trying to
The
do
cat, yes. But meow.
Remember they about 10 years ago,
They tried to
Cadbury
replace
was trying to
the-
replace the
yeah.
Cadbury egg, and it was like the line was like, bark, bark. And the turtle was like, because it's a fucking turtle. They don't. Well,
Yeah,
they do
Turtle
go.
is
They
like,
go.
silence.
when they're having
Oh,
sex.
when they're doing it, they sound like a squeaky toy.
Doing it. Valentine's Day
Dirty
Haunt.
turtles.
You know what's really funny, and I don't want to be religious in this per se, but it's interesting that a lot of the pagan holidays have a life cycle of pagan holiday, Christian adaption, and then capitalism like fervor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which almost really makes it much more pagan.
I bet you
like.
that restaurants this weekend were completely slammed full of people.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Because for some reason, taking people out to eat on Valentine's Day, or Valentine's, when you celebrate Valentine's, has become this iconic, you can't not do it thing.
It's a day to go spend money to show that you love someone, because
Well,
that makes sense.
So we talked about the box of chocolates. Is there anything about Dozen Roses? Because that's the other kind of iconic thing, right?
It is, but I can't really find anything in the history of it that talks about where the roses came about.
Says sweetheart candies actually started out as lozenges for
Huh.
sore throats.
Did they have a
Later
lozenge?
known as Necco wafers.
Really?
Yep.
Look at that. We knew things that we didn't even know.
Look at you go.
Look at you. What is that? X became a
It
kiss.
says the idea of using a kiss to sign off on a Valentine's also has a long history. According to the Washington Post, the use of X came to represent Christianity, or a cross in the Middle Ages. During that same time, the symbol was used to sign off on documents. After marking an X, the writer would often kiss the mark as a sign of their oath. As a gesture grew among kings and commoners to certify book letters and paperwork, these records were described as having been sealed with a kiss.
That's
Which is
awesome.
another
Yes,
thing
it's
that
nice.
still, back to Christmas. How many people are like, they're trying to take the Jesus out of Christmas by calling it Xmas. Literally calling it Xmas is making it more Jesus oriented.
Yeah.
Because the X represents the cross.
And that's another example. I have always thought, from a symbology standpoint, that the X is a less than, greater than, and their points touching.
They're
Yeah.
They're like pucker up kissing, and then the O for the XO, the O is a
For the
circle of
hug.
hug,
both. Yeah.
right? And so, like from
X is
a
an
symbology standpoint, that tracks for me, and that makes sense.
Right.
And that reminds me of Nacho Libre when he's like, little X, big X, little O.
So what about the reference of Cupid to Valentine's?
So it says here that apparently, if I can find it,
Lots of things. It says so much stuff.
It
There's words.
says that Cupid began as a Greek god, the chubby baby with
Eros.
wings
Baby.
and a bow and arrow that we call Cupid has been associated with Valentine's Day for centuries. However, before he was renamed Cupid, he was known as the ancient god Eros, the god
That's
of
from
love.
Greek mythology, yeah.
Eros, the son of the Greek goddess Aphrodite, would use his set of arrows, one for love and another for hate, to play with the emotions of his target. It wasn't until stories of his mischief were told by Romans that he adopted the childlike appearance that we recognize today. So the Cupid that we say is like, oh, he's so... No. He did not do it to hook lovers up. He did it because he was a god of chaos, and he would send some people to love and some people to hate. Now, Cupid has lost his hate arrows lately.
Oh.
No, he hasn't.
No,
Recently
he
he's got a lot of hate arrows in him.
Yeah.
But it's not in the actual history of Cupid. You don't see anybody talk about Cupid is like fucking goddamn Hawkeye. He's got 2 different arrows.
Yeah.
One for love, one for hate.
And one makes things really big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the
Or
love
small to get
That's
grabbed
the
by
hate
them.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I might have found something about the roses. So for centuries, flowers have symbolized fertility, love, marriage, and romance, blah, blah, blah. During the Victorian era, it became popular to use flowers to send as secretive messages. And it's known as floriography. Sending flowers is like sending a secret message. Like sending this type of flower means this.
That's really kind of neat. I've heard like yellow means friendship, red means love, like that kind of thing, but I've never heard it that there's a florography.
Right,
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Maybe that's where the carnations come from.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why red roses, typically represent love and romance. But the rose was actually sacred to a number of goddesses, including Isis of Egypt. And so that's really more of an Egyptian folklore where the roses came from. So I did not realize that.
So one thing about Valentine's, and we've hit on roses. We've hit on box of chocolates.
Yes,
We've
and
hit
if
on
someone
Cupid.
sends you roses, you can put them up your ass.
Ma'am.
In florography.
You're
You're
welcome. welcome.
I sent you so many roses. I'm like, I'm going to blow that butthole.
How you like buttholes?
Apparently, tulips are thought to mean perfect love.
Yeah,
And
because
that
you plant
comes-
tulips on the butthole.
That actually
This is
comes
a podcast
from,
for buttholes.
That actually comes from a Turkish legend because tulips originally came from Persia and Turkey. Orchids are symbols of love, wisdom, beauty, seduction, and refinement. Dahlias signify dignity and elegance.
Wow, that changed after the Black Dahlia murders, didn't it?
No, it was still like the very
really?
elegant kind of fucking
Still.
thing.
If I hear Dahlia, I just immediately go back to the
Murder.
famous case of murder.
And apparently, bird of paradise is a 9th wedding anniversary flower because it symbolizes faithfulness.
Huh.
Just 9 in. Well, we didn't live that long back in those days. 9 years, and you're probably really close to dying at this point.
So here's the one thing about Valentine's we haven't talked about, and I'd like to talk about. A Valentine is called a heart, right? But that doesn't have heart shape. So where did the symbol of a Valentine heart come from?
Oh, that's a very good question.
It doesn't. I mean, there are 2 halves of it. There are 2 halves of a heart. Maybe 2 halves or 2 things coming together as one symbolize love. But when you say heart, I draw a heart. People are not going to draw a heart. People are going to draw a Valentine shape, and that's kind of a weird kind of thing, right?
It says scholars such as Pierre Vinnick and Martin Kemp.
Which, first of all, fuck those guys. I don't believe anything. I don't have no idea.
Okay, that's fair. Have argued that the symbol has its roots in the writings of Galen and the philosopher Aristotle, who described the human heart as having 3 chambers with a small dent in the middle. Okay.
That's fair.
It says, wildly recognized as a symbol for love and affection, the heart shape has evolved over centuries. It may be hard to believe the double-scalped ideogram with the V-shaped base hasn't been around forever. As these heart shapes are a consistent in modern life, one of the most widely used emojis is the heart. How did this unique symbol become a thing? Okay, yeah, that's what we're asking you. Why are you asking?
Why are you asking us? We don't know shit.
Some think the heart shape is a stylized depiction of human anatomy, representing the curves shape of breast, buttocks, or genitalia.
That's all true. That's
super
true.
Others think it is inspired by the ancient philosophers who believed the heart was a seat of the soul for the emotional center, and physicians such as Galen and the second century father of medicine, who described a heart as the 3-chambered organ shaped like a pine cone.
I love pine cones.
And it actually says the first known depiction of a heart shape as a symbol of love was in the 1250s French manuscript, the Roman de la Poire, in which a young man holds his vaguely pine cone-shaped heart up towards his lady love. And up until the 14th century, the heart was usually depicted upside down.
Oh, it says here, it originated as the shape of a female form bending over as seen from behind.
Yes, it's butt.
Butt.
It's butt.
It's the butt.
It's the butt.
The heart.
It's the butt.
No.
The
It's
heart
the
is
butt.
the butt.
It's the butt.
I remember an old Mad magazine that I had back in the day had like a vampire sneaking up on a girl, and she was with her back to the camera bent over, and the line between her legs that went up her butt and her buttocks made a cross, and the vampire was like...
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Butt cracked and under cheeky.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, guys, that's been Valentine's Day. If you're celebrating, celebrate. If you're not celebrating, don't celebrate.
Celebrate or
Celebrate with a
celibate.
butt.
Either way.
And for buttholes and butts.
You can either celebrate or be celibate. Well, start it
Fail.
out.
Hey.
Celibate good times. Come
Come
on.
on.
Or don't.
Let's
We're not going to
celebrate.
do nothing.
Come on by yourself.
By yourself.
So today is National Butthole Day.
Oh, no.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is National Butthole Day.
So go out there and get in some buttholes.
Find yourself a butthole.
I hate this. This is the end of the podcast.
All right, guys.
We hope you feel stupider after our podcast. We know
Stupider.
Everett does. You guys stay rotten.
Stay
rotten.
rotten, buttholes.
Join us next time for another episode of Rotten Mornings.